Hi, I'm Jessica Richmond, and I'm in charge of all things social media here at Beau Rivage. On this episode of Beau Appétit, you're going to learn how to make some delicious jambalaya, perfect for Mardi Gras. Hi there, I am here with Chef Sarah Cormier, and we're going to show you how to make some jambalaya today. So tell us what we're doing.
Okay, well there's a few different ways to make jambalaya, depending on where you're from. And so what I've tried to get here today is kind of a basic jambalaya, and we'll go from there and people can kind of add their own twist to it.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm gonna get some stuff started, then we can keep talking just so it's kind of cooking here. I have a real heavy cast iron pot, and I have some andouille sausage, which is kind of nice and spicy. And we're gonna put that right in there, sort of get it cooking. We're gonna brown it off a little bit. And then, once that gets going, we're gonna add a bunch of different stuff. Over here, if you wanna give that a stir here, kind of while we're doing this, I have some chicken that I actually smoked it first, about a quarter of the way done, and then I just boiled it in some water, and that way we're gonna use this liquid to cook the rice with. And I'm gonna pull this chicken off the bone here, so we can put it right into our jambalaya, and I'll give it that extra flavor as far as rather than just using already pre-cooked or pre-diced chicken or that kind of thing.
So homemade, homegrown, home cooking.
I really wanted to do the jambalaya today just because we are getting into Mardi Gras season, and it's such a comfortable, like, wintry food. It fills you up. It's pretty much, you can put, like I said, your own twist on it. Anything you have in the fridge you can put in there, so to speak, but traditionally it's going to be some sort of pork product like a sausage and andouille, or you can use pork shoulder or anything like that, any kind of sausage really, smoked sausage, and a chicken. And then you can kind of get creative after that as far as if you want to put any kind of seafood in there. A lot of people put seafood. There's sort of a French jambalaya, so to speak, and then a Spanish version would be the paella with the saffron rice and everything, and that has a lot of the shellfish in it. Okay. So it's kind of what makes it different. Now that this is a little browned off here, I'm actually going to throw a little bit more butter in here, just because we want a little more fat, just getting it melted. And then we're going to go with our holy trinity here, which is 50% onion, and then 25% celery and 25% pepper. Okay. You can use red or green pepper. I prefer the red just because it gives it color and makes it pop a little bit. Yeah. Adds a little spice maybe. Yeah. If you want to put some fresh, any kind of fresh jalapeno or that kind of thing, it's all up to you and what your family likes and whatever, what they're all into, so to speak. So we're gonna let that cook down a little bit until it gets kind of nice and tender. We can go ahead and throw our chicken in here now, which the chicken is fully cooked. It does have a little bit of that red color to it just because I did smoke it for a while, and when you smoke poultry like that, it gets that kind of red line around it, same as pork or anything else.
Now, what's the easiest way to smoke a chicken?
Well, the easiest way is if you have a grill and you can sort of get the coals going, or some kind of charcoal, or you can buy the briquettes and get those going, and then you don't want flame, you just want smoke. So once they've sort of cindered out, then you can put your chicken or whatever you want to smoke on there and cover it completely and let it smoke. Okay. If you don't have that, you can kind of make a smoker at home. If you take a deep pan and they sell the grates that go in for steaming vegetables, or any kind of anything that has holes in it, really, that's going to hold it off of the bottom. And then you can do the same thing. You want to cinder your get the briquettes and make sure that you light them until they're almost out, and then you put your food above it so it's not touching. That's important. And then just wrap the whole thing in tin foil. And just let it sit on your table and it'll smoke.
Really? Yeah, that's neat.
A kind of at-home thing. So as it's cooking down, you just want to let the vegetables get pretty tender and translucent.
Okay.
And once that happens, we're gonna go ahead and add, I just have some of our seasoning blend from here at the Beau. We make it and we use it in a bunch of our restaurants. You can use whatever you'd like. A blackened seasoning, a Creole seasoning.
Okay.
No seasoning. I mean, if you just want a little salt and pepper. I mean, however, whatever your family likes.
Okay.
If they like spicy, then put a little cayenne pepper. If they like, you know, mild, then maybe just a little paprika or a little chili powder, you know, whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you can buy any kind of, I mean, I'm sure you've seen in the grocery store all kinds of Cajun blackened mixes, you know, whatever you can think of. So once we get that in there, we're gonna go ahead and add our rice.
About how much rice?
This is about 2 cups of rice, because I put about a cup of onions, half a cup of the celery, and a half a cup of the peppers. And then, excuse me, about a cup of the sausage, and it's gonna be about a cup of I use a half a chicken, which ends up being about a full cup of meat once you're done pulling it off there.
So we've mixed everything together. Tell me a little bit about, are we just kind of letting everything marinate and get the flavor together then?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, this is something you can do while you're waiting for your family to show up to go to the parade, or you know, you get it on the stove and you kind of just let it go. And once we get our liquid in here, that's what we're gonna do. I mean, I'm not sure, what did your family do for Mardi Gras? They go out, or?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's always, you know, you get ready for the parade, you make sure all the food's ready, the kids are loaded in the wagon, and you know, it's definitely everything. You know, it's a big family event. It's an all-day event. You know, you start early, little drinks or whatever, and then of course the food and the beads and dodging traffic, like everybody else, I'm sure. Yes.
And speaking of kids, I know mothers very rarely get a hot meal. You can eat jambalaya. It's like any kind of rice dish. You can eat it cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still delicious. So.
Exactly. Come back from the parade and continue on.
Right. So once we get this kind of all in there, and the rice is nice and coated with everything that we have in there, I'm gonna use some of this liquid here, and this is just the liquid that I boiled the chickens in.
Okay.
So
if we had 2 cups of rice, how much would you say?
We're gonna add about 3 cups of liquid.
Okay.
Normally, rice is gonna be 2 to 1, but because of all the other stuff that we have in there, the vegetables have liquid, you know, and we want it to get a little sticky together. So we're gonna add about 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of stock instead of the 4.
Gotcha.
And then
So I was just gonna say, how long are we gonna just wait until the rice cooks, or?
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up to a simmer, and then once most of the liquid is absorbed, then we're just gonna shut it off and cover it and leave it, and then it's good to go.
Awesome.
I like to use a little bit of the kitchen bouquet in here. You can buy it in the store. It's just caramel color, and this is where jambalayas differentiate. Some people will swear to you that jambalaya needs tomatoes. You can go ahead and put tomatoes in there. I mean, it's gonna be delicious. And other parts of this region will say, you know, jambalaya does not have tomatoes. There's no way.
Yeah, it's just depending on where you're going and who you're speaking with.
And so the kitchen bouquet is gonna darken it a little bit, and you're also gonna get a dark color from those little particles of the sausage and everything on the bottom, and kind of crispying up. But if you look or talk to anybody who, you know, from Louisiana, and they don't put tomatoes in it, they usually use some sort of caramel color to give it that nice, rich color. Well, it looks delicious. It smells great too. Thank you, thank you. So we're just gonna let that cook down, and then we'll have a final product for you.
All right. Okay, so we're like 30 minutes into the future now. How is that time travel? You feeling okay?
I'm getting my bearings back, but I'm okay.
Okay, well, it looks good, so I guess, you know, we made it out okay, folks. So I guess just tell me what we have here. How long did it take?
So it took about a half hour, and pretty much what we did was we just took that pot with everything in it, left it on low heat, brought it up to a simmer. Once it was simmering, turned the heat off, covered it with foil, and just let it sit there.
Okay, well.
And you'll know it's done when the rice is done. And we have the nice big pieces of smoked chicken in there. our andouille sausage, so it's got a little heat.
I think that's the best jambalaya I've ever had. And I've lived here for a while. Well, that is fantastic.
Good. Excellent.
Alrighty, and like you said, it's a perfect food for any kind of Mardi Gras parade.
Absolutely. You can take it with you. You can eat it cold. You can eat it the next day. You can eat it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, whenever
the party starts or stops.
Or ends or, keeps going.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for showing me how to do this, and to all the viewers at home, and that's how you do it, guys.